Convert to Raid is giving away festive loot boxes in our Winter Veil celebration all through the month of December. Listen to the show and follow us on Twitter for your chance to win awesome loot like t-shirts, plushies, books, gear, digital codes, coloring books, and much, much, much more. And everyone that enters is automatically submitted to win the grand prize, a $300 shopping spree at jinx.com. So listen, follow, and win with CTR. And happy Winter Veil, everyone! Welcome home, Raiders! Tonight, Antorus drops on Azeroth, and, well, as you heard before, we've got stuff to give away, as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fun-filled show from the Battlenet News broadcast bunker in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is December 5th, 2017, and it is now 10:13 in the p.m., starting right on time as always. Thanks for joining us from around the Blizzard universe. And hello, my name is Pat Crane. I'm your host of the show, and as always, the players are headbanging in the background. So I'll bring them in one at a time. From Lords of the Storm, a show about heroes of the storm, it's Gizmo!
Oh, I was wanting this to go first so I could headbang a little longer, but that's okay. We got it. Okay, I got it out.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, are you feeling better? Are you recovered more?
You know, I feel better, but I've still got this stuffiness and an annoying cough, so I don't know what the heck. I'm just gonna have it forever.
All right.
I don't know what's going on.
At least you've kind of given in to it all. All right.
Yeah, I'm letting it it's an adventure at this point. It's just going where it goes.
Sure.
Nobody knows.
All right. And from Lagging Balls, returning to us is Thyst. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Gizmo, please don't die. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Nobody does. We love Gizmo. We love Gizmo.
So
and if anybody was listening to Lagging Balls earlier this week, you know that if we get trapped, the three of us, if we get trapped on a deserted island, we know exactly what's going to happen.
Ooh, I know what's gonna happen. Old Flamebeard's gonna be kindling for the fire.
That's right.
Whether the fire is a real thing or just a metaphor for something else, I don't know. And of course, Pat is a wildlife, wilderness, survival expert.
Yep.
Not unlike that guy who drank his own pee. What was that guy?
Bear Grylls.
Oh, do you have to have
Grylls.
like a cool wildlife name?
Crane Pat.
I don't think you need. I don't think you have to have one, but it doesn't hurt. So
okay, so Gizmo would be like Small Frog Mo.
I don't know how I feel about that. Why is that the first thing?
Small Frog Mo. Yes, that's exactly it.
I would be like Mushroom Fist or Toadstool Fist or some kind of fungus, probably.
Sure. I'm not gonna go there. But sure, why not? Hello, friends. Welcome to this already off to a weird start show. And hello everybody in Twitch chat and no matter where you're listening to us, thank you so much for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. And we have got so much stuff on the plate tonight because there was a thing last week that happened where a new raid came around, and as we are known as Convert to Raid, usually that means that we have a lot of stuff to do. And so we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh. I mean, I guess that's the point of a podcast, though, right?
What do you want me to do about it? I mean, it is kind of the thing.
It's raidception right now. We're Convert to Raid. We have a raid to talk about, and we just got raided. And I don't know how to handle it right now.
Just got raided?
Know what that is.
Did we get raided?
Got raided?
Oh my gosh. Well,
Oh.
welcome to everybody from the Twitch raid. That's awesome. I like that. I always like that. So
That's too much.
let's maybe talk about what you guys have been up to. Gizmo, let's start with you. What has been going on in your gaming life, especially your Blizzard gaming life? I see that you have the Overwatch League backdrop behind you. Are you excited for Overwatch League? Because we got the preseason coming up this week.
Yes, that I am. Preseason is starting tomorrow. And strangely enough, I don't play much Overwatch League. That's something I like to play in a group, and I just, with my schedule, really haven't been able to play with people very often. So I don't play it very often, but I'm super stoked for the preseason and inaugural season for Overwatch League. But other than that, of course, still playing some heroes. Not playing as much of that right now. Still kind of waiting for the big update to drop, hopefully mid to end of this month. And then, of course, still leveling up my undead rogue in Blood of the Scribe. I'm officially in Blood of the Scribe now. So.
Nice. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I've got both of you now.
So, just going back to Overwatch League for just a second, do you have a favorite team?
I am narrowing it down.
Okay.
So last week,
yeah,
I think it was last week, I said I was kind of between Houston and New York.
Uh-huh.
But I say I'm narrowing it down. It's kind of expanded to Houston, Dallas, New York, Miami, or London. But I don't think it's going to be London because that's just like, you got to stay within your own region. But their logo is really cool, Spitfire. So I don't know. Next week, I'll have it narrowed down next week.
The logo is really cool, and I would say that if it wasn't London, if it was just the Spitfires and it was just that plain logo thing, that'd be awesome. I love the logo. I love the logo. I don't know. Thyst, do you have a favorite team? Because I know that you follow the OWL.
Oh, very closely.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with Excelsior just because. I'm
local.
in New York. Yeah, it's local.
Yeah.
I love the idea of, the merch is going on sale tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I want to walk down Fifth Avenue wearing some XL, like crazy, like lines everywhere. I really like the branding. It's really cool. But I want to walk around in New York and root for this team. And I want other New Yorkers to be like, hey, what's your main? And I'll be like, watch out! Don't hit me with your cab, because that's what happens in New York.
Right.
It's Hanzo.
As we know from the movie Elf, the yellow ones don't stop.
They don't. I just watched that the other day.
It's a classic. So yeah, I think for me that I'm looking at the Mayhem is automatically awesome just because it's kind of like perfect for a Junkrat main. But the Dynasty is also cool. And the San Francisco Shock. And I'm just talking about the team logos and such because, let's face it, we don't have much to go off of right now. We have speculation. We know that the Houston team should be good, but who knows?
It's the Dallas team that should be good.
Yeah.
The Dallas team should be good.
Yeah, I think the teams to watch are the Fuel, Excelsior,
right.
Dynasty, and Spitfire.
Definitely.
All right.
I have a soft spot for Boston, though, just because they're so quirky.
Well, because it's Boston.
They're going to be bad.
Right.
Might be good. You never know.
They're going to be bad. So San Francisco. Sorry, guys.
We'll see what's going on. During the preseason, and there may be some upsets that we, can't even think about predicting right now.
Yeah, this is all new. Like anything could happen. I'm so excited.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Anything. Well,
got to have the hands go across the screen.
Oh,
and go,
sorry.
Anything could happen. It's just all rainbows and such. So that's cool. Thyst. Now
yes.
I know that we raided together earlier this week.
Oh yeah.
And that was fun, right?
Yeah, it was. No, it was the best time. Oh my goodness,
it was pretty good. So what was going on from your perspective?
Well, we are heroic raiders, so we started off with normal just to, see the content and grab some more gear. I think that we were over geared for all but 4 end bosses. The end piece of Antorus really is quite challenging. especially in terms of mechanics and even some mechanics that we haven't really seen before, which is always so exciting. But we kind of breezed through that last week, and I think we might go through normal once or twice more just to gear up some people who maybe had to change spec.
I
don't know about that.
Yeah. So I'm uncomfortable now because we're going to talk about this for just a second.
It's okay. Nobody's judging you.
Are you Boomkin? Are you doing Boomkin?
So I have been a Resto Druid for on and off, mostly on, for about 6 years. Roughly. Probably
It's a
more.
long time.
Probably more. And so then I got the notice just before our first raid night. Hey Pat, you wanna go boom on this?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be really, really good, not blah blah blah. And I'm like going, I don't have gear for it. I don't. My weapon is at like 0-ish, and like all this stuff. I'm like going, do not expect anything from any of this stuff ever.
We knew that. It's just we had too many healers and not enough DPS to.
And that's okay. I'm totally
so.
I'm totally cool with that. I'm totally a team player, and I know that I came in to the raid group late into TOS, so I don't have the gear for it, and I don't have all this other stuff. So I'm not going to be the most awesome healer, and I'm not going to be the most awesome DPSer either, for that matter. But it's easier to carry a DPS than it is to like count on them for heals.
Totally. And like at the beginning of a new raid, that's the perfect time to start something new, because starting from square one all over again. So is everybody else.
Yes. And so I've been going through all of the different guides and trying all of the things, and it's been enlightening.
I mean, that can be misconstrued as positivity. Sure.
Right. Sure. Well, I mean, it is kind of one of those things though, where I actually really do. I don't mind the spec. There's a lot going on. There's a lot more going on than the last time that I played Boomkin, which is just fine. But there's a lot of stuff to keep your eye on, and I had no idea before I stepped into that raid what it was like at all. Because I was told like 5 minutes before. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm switching, and
do DPS now.
And switched and was like, I don't even know what to do. So I was like looking at Icy Veins while we were fighting the first boss and going, okay, so what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
And
trying to learn all the fights and trying to do all the other things. And so I don't think
you did really well, though.
I don't think I retained Jack during the entire thing. Like nothing whatsoever, because I was just like, okay, I am pressing buttons now. What am I? There's the boss here. I don't think
that one's glowing.
I didn't die much.
No, that's the thing though. Like you didn't die very often, and I think that's the mark of a very seasoned raider. It's like even though you don't know what you're doing, even though you're doing a new spec and doing a new raid, like you still know how to get out of stuff. And there is a lot of stuff on the floor in Antorus.
Especially some of those later bosses. There's a bunch, like that bridge boss, terrible with all the junk on the floor. And like 3 people died in one spot. It was crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I was one of them. And I was just like laying on the floor going, oh, this seems like kind of a cool fight. It's all right. It's cool.
It was. It was great.
Good. It's all good. But yeah, it's very difficult. So if people have if people have suggestions about, especially about Boomkin stuff for me, and they have like helpful tips and stuff like that, places where I need to go, like weak auras that I need to get, like all the things, right? Because there's so much stuff to gather up. Because I've been healing for a long time, so I don't know anything. But if you guys have tips or anything like that, send them via Twitter or email or whatever, and thank you in advance, because I really need to up my game if I'm going to be DPS. It's a whole different mindset, like completely different, and I haven't had to think this way for a while, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's fairly competitive as well.
Yes,
as soon as you became DPS, like you were my opponent. And I had to crush you on the meters. Well, I'm sorry.
And here's my deal. As long as I don't die, I'm fine. Because I'm going back to my resto roots, so to speak. So it is kind of one of those things of, as long as nobody dies, as long as we win, we're fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point of raiding, right?
But that's me as a resto saying that's the way that we should think about it. But as DPS, you don't want that.
No.
I want to be like, Starfall, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
all this talk is actually making me want to heal again.
Healing's fun. I love it.
Yeah, because I never did it. I mean, I've always been a DPSer, but I healed on another raid team throughout Mist of Pandaria for the first time on a Paladin, and I loved it. I always thought it would be boring, but no, it's like DPS is relaxing to me, and healing is like always cheeks puckered.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like if somebody dies, even if it's not my fault, it's my fault.
Oh sure,
I can't let that happen.
Sure,
the healers on my raid team have the strongest buns.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt all of them individually, one bun at a time at BlizzCon.
Wow.
You know.
Wow.
It's like a raid thing you do with raid team members.
It's a raid thing you do. It's totally a raid thing.
It's part
you
of the
get
game.
together and you just touch each other's butts. That's it.
As long as you do it in a respectful manner.
Right. It's all about respect, everybody.
Subjectively, right?
Right. Right.
I learned a thing today.
So this is my new life as a boom chicken, as a resto that has been reborn as a chicken.
As a mother hen.
Yeah.
If you will.
As a battle chicken. So yeah, it's been quite the week, and I have been watching a lot of videos and stuff like that. Hopefully tomorrow night I'll be a little bit better.
Oh, of course you will.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to say I'm going to be great. I'm just saying just slightly better. Hopefully I won't let all of my moon spells fall off and my dots and the other things that I need to do, whatever those are. I don't even know what they are yet.
Why?
Okay.
Why would you be raiding tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, Wednesday?
Because it's raid night tomorrow night, Gizmo.
It's Lords of the Storm night, obviously.
What?
Oh, the Lords of the Storm night. Well, that's gonna be playing in the background while
there you go.
While I do the raid stuff. So
I tried to do that with 2 monitors, and like I get kind of like I raid badly when I've got those gorgeous Zords on my screen. I can't tear my eyes away from them.
Yep.
And then bad things happen.
That's why at my studio I have actually 4 screens. I have 4 screens.
Whoa.
That way I can have the Zords up in one area, but they're still kind of they're still only in one quadrant. So it's
don't you find that they're way too attractive?
Well, most of them. Not all of them.
But which one? Okay.
Some have too much hair.
Some have too much hair. Some have just enough hair. Some.
It's subjective.
Right. It is subjective.
I saw one once in a leather jacket and nothing else.
Oh wow!
Assumedly.
Wow.
That was funny.
Wow.
It was the Lagging Balls 24-hour stream, and
Yeah.
it was like I'd been up for almost 24 hours, and Multizord pops up on the screen in just like a leather jacket and like bare chested, and I lost it. Like there's no coming back from that. That was just I'll never forget that moment in my life.
I'd probably lose it too.
Oh yeah, it was just fantastic.
All right. Well, before we get to the news part of the news, just a couple of things. First of all, Minnesota Meetup is this Sunday. This Sunday already. It's already here. We're doing a little Minnesota holiday meetup thing. December 10th, that's Sunday, 2 p.m. at the Up Down Barcade in Uptown. And then we'll move over to the Herkimer, which everybody on this show, everybody who's listened to the show already knows about. The Herkimer is amazing. But that's all going to be in Uptown. So on Sunday. So there. The other thing is I want to talk about this CTR Wintervale celebration. And I think I talked about it. Well, I talked about it at the beginning of the show. And let me just put up the little card here. The CTR Wintervale celebration is pretty easy. Okay. We're going to be giving away loot all through December. And like I said in the beginning, it's t-shirts, plushies, pets, mounts, like digital codes galore. We've got HOTS heroes that we're giving away too, Gizmo. Like Diva and Hanzo. If you want to try them out. and some other stuff as well. We've got gear like hats and like Horde and Alliance hats, both. We've got coloring books. We've got WoW books. We've got keychains, other swag. We've even got a Legion collector's edition that we will be giving away on this show. Plus, everybody who is a part of this thing, everybody who enters into the contest at one point or another, or multiple times, whatever, you guys will be entered into win the grand prize of a $300 shopping spree at Jinx. So very, very cool stuff. For all the rules and stuff like that, you can go over to converttorade.com/Wintervale because it is a part of the CTR Wintervale celebration. And it's pretty dang cool. So, we actually have to do that now. We're going to do that now.
Whoa, right now?
Right now. And I know. Don't worry about it. We'll give you plenty of time as far as when you need to get this in. I think we're saying Friday.
It's actually Tuesday.
Friday, the 9th.
Tuesday, December 12th.
I believe that's the case. If I'm wrong, I will correct it in the audio before I actually post this show.
You're wrong.
And the video. I'll have to come back and I'll have to redo the video. So, but it'll all be fine. It'll all be fine. So I think it's Friday. We're actually going to be drawing this thing. So make sure to get
Tuesday.
it in before Friday morning, like 8 a.m. Central Time. That would be great. If you can get in before then, that'd be perfect.
It's Tuesday.
But to give this away,
December 12th.
I thought of bringing in some friends to help out. Because why not? It is the, it's the Feast of Wintervale. It's nothing without friends, right? So I brought in a good friend, John Jagger.
Who's that?
He's from.
I was kidding.
He's from Azeroth Roundtable and Core. And so here is him giving us the word of the week. Ready? Here we go.
Oh, hi. John here. Didn't see you there. I'm just hanging out in my car. You see, when Jules and Pat said, John, can you tell us a word for everybody to use for this contest? I thought, you know what? It makes sense that I'd be the one to do that. After all, I'm pretty much the most seasonal person in the world. Coming at you live from sunny Phoenix, Arizona, where you can't even tell winter's happened yet. As a matter of fact, I have the air conditioning on. Anyway, your word today is lazy. I thought about making it procrastinate, for reasons that Jules and Pat will understand, and probably the reason why this video is coming to you from my car. But no, because I want you to be able to spell it, the word today is lazy. Thanks.
All right, thank you, John, for that, for everything. Yes. And for those guys that want to know how to enter in, we know what the word is now. The word is lazy. Okay? The word is lazy because John was procrastinating on getting in the video. So all you need to do is first you need to follow ConvertTorade on Twitter. This is a Twitter contest. And then just make a new post, say @ConvertTorade, and then with the hashtag CTR lazy. You can put it into a sentence if you want. You could say, hey, I was going to submit to your contest, but I was hashtag CTR lazy. Or some such nonsense.
That doesn't make sense.
Right, because they're actually
It's subjective.
Because they're actually
okay.
Because they're actually entering into the contest. But it's the hashtag is CTR lazy. So make sure to put in @ConvertTorade on Twitter, and then with the hashtag CTR lazy, follow us, and you can win our next prize pack, which is a Pirate Pepe plush. Right, already cool. A Warcraft Chronicle 2 book.
Ooh.
No.
That has Chronicles in it.
It does have Chronicles in it. It's very cool. And a Convert to Raid t-shirt of whatever design we have. So whatever design you want. So we've got a few things there, and you'll get all of those things. Plus, you'll be registered automatically into the $300 grand prize shopping spree over at jinx.com. And a big thanks to the folks at World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm, and of course Jinx, for putting all this stuff together. Plus, we put in a bunch of our own loot in there as well. So it's the Feast of Wintervale, and what is Wintervale if not a bunch of presents? Right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Right.
One might say it's all about the loot.
One might say that. You are so right. All right. Well, let's head into the news. It's news time. And of course, first we will start, as we normally do, with World of Warcraft.
A clever strategy.
Mm-hmm. So, Thyst.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
So, I'm good. I want to talk to you about Antorus. Or Antorus. Okay. I'm not sure. You're pronouncing it Antorus.
It's
right?
Antorus. Or Antorus, queen. Or Cantorus.
All right.
Or Cantorus. But we can, Taurus. Don't you worry, Taurus. We got this, Taurus. Sorry. I was hoping it would get funnier as I kept going, but it clearly didn't. So
nope, not a lot. Okay.
Seems like I can't, Taurus.
Right. So a couple of different things about Antorus that we should probably talk about with everybody. Now, this week is the week where a bunch of stuff starts opening up. Last week was normals and heroics. This week is mythics. Yeah! And also LFR, Wing 1.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good week. We're actually starting to see the mythic race kind of shape up from the American side anyway right now. We'll see EU tomorrow and others as well. So what are we looking at right now as far as the mythic race goes?
Oh,
do you know?
Geez.
Do you know? Do you have it up? You have up all the things?
Limit and Easy are at 611 mythic.
Yep. And I'm
so
6 of 11 mythic. That's actually pretty fast.
That's really fast.
That's really fast.
Those last couple of bosses are no joke. Like I'm not saying that like this raid is just like, oh, it's super easy up to the last couple of bosses. No, it's not like that at all. But it's just those last bosses, it seems like the encounter team just sort of went all out, like,
oh man,
as far as new things that nobody's ever seen before, and like insanely cool special things happening that kind of like change the paradigm a little bit on what at least a final boss should feel like, and a few. Right. Should I give away what happens at the end? Because it's really cool.
At the end, everybody dies.
Yeah, like death is a mechanic. Like death is a mechanic, and resurrecting is a mechanic. Like that's so cool. I'm sorry, but that's just like it was mind blowing. It
kind of takes the Lich King thing to a new dimension. Which is kind of interesting because in that fight you die and then you are resurrected to basically pummel the boss into a small doughy shaped ball on the floor. And so for this one you actually die several times probably.
Hopefully you only die once if you're doing it right.
Once or twice. Unless you're a tank or something like that where you're gonna get probably dead more. So.
Dead more.
You're going to get dead more.
Dead. Just because you can come back to life doesn't mean that you should have to.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
And so, but right now we have Limit, the old Blood Legion gang are they 8 of 11?
8.
Oh my
gosh.
They're
like literally progressing right now.
They are 8 of 11. They are 9 of 11.
What?
According to WoW Progress, they are 9 of 11 mythic right now.
Oh, they just completed Antorus. No.
No.
Not yet.
No. Now I need to refresh and see. Okay, are they 10 now? What are they? But it was 6 when we started, then it was 8, and now it's 9. So I don't know what's going on. But congratulations to Limit for beating all those bosses. Way to go. That's awesome.
Would you guys ever want to do something like that? Or do you feel like that kind of takes the fun out of it? Or is that the fun part? I don't know.
Working the raid like that? I mean, making it like your job, kind of?
Yeah, and just, I mean, it must feel really, really good to get like a world first or a server first or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, unless you find that grind super fun, like, would that not just ruin things? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Gizmo?
At one point, I think I would have enjoyed it back when I was hardcore raiding. Like, I think it would have been fun because I've done like a few like 24-hour streams and stuff before. I'm not saying raid for 24 hours straight, but if work wasn't an issue and things like that, just to like be able to get your raid team together and like just go hard at it for as long as you can stand each other, I think that would be super fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
On like on release days and stuff. But
And, it's kind of one of those things where I've done some hardcore raiding as well. I don't, at this stage of my life, I'm too busy for it. I just have way too many things going on where I couldn't, heroic raiding is, that's enough. That's fine. I'm cool with it. But back in the day, I mean, I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, I think for me, I just enjoy rating so much that I would be afraid that if I like pushed at it for a world first or something like that, then it might take all the joy out of it and like the wonder, I guess. I don't know. I'm always afraid of that with WoW. Like I don't want the wonder to end.
Right.
So.
One of the things that I'm kind of upset about, by the way, is that Easy.
What did I do?
Well, no. Easy, they are number 2 right now. And congratulations to Easy. I hold no ill will to Easy except for one thing. They used to be on Airy Peak Alliance. And now they are not. Now they are over on Mal'Ganis and they are Horde. And so I will say that is not acceptable. Well, maybe it's acceptable. It's probably acceptable. Like you care what I think anyway.
I understand that move. That was a good move.
It is subjectively acceptable.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
It's okay.
The fine folks on Mal'Ganis are, they're all very reputable young folks.
Sure.
And old.
And there's there is Midwinter is sitting at 5th at 5 of 11, which is really great.
Slackers.
Yeah, we also have benched from Boulder Fist, which is your server, Thyst.
Yes, indeed.
So congratulations to those guys. Let's see, anybody else that's that we see here that's kind of one of the names that we know. Lethal, I've heard of those guys.
I don't know a lot of these guys.
Big Dumb Guild, I know those guys. They're 6 of 11. Yeah. So I mean, it seems like there's some newish blood in here, which is cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if I think Vodkas might be with a Z, might be a vodka offshoot of some kind, but I'm not sure.
Maybe. Do you think like all these new quote unquote tryhard guilds, do you think that speaks to how well Legion has been, putting out great content and at like such a steady pace? And I don't know, just like the encounters have been like the raid encounters this expansion, for me at least, have been the best ever,
Right.
Like ever. So do you think that like more guilds or raid teams at least popping up and trying to do this, do you think that speaks to how excellent Legion is, or do you think that people are just trying harder for some reason? I don't know.
I think it's a mix of a lot of things. Like the content has been absolutely incredible, but I also think it's kind of sparked because we've had some of the raid teams that have been in this race for years have dropped out. So I also think that it's kind of sparked some new groups to be like, maybe we have a chance now.
Right.
And
That's
they want to
good.
get in on the action, which is good. And
That's
keep it
like
going. But
And there are it looks like there are 81 teams that have defeated a mythic boss, and for that we say congratulations, because that's awesome.
And I don't know. I think that seems high to me because we've done this show on Tuesdays on release for a while, and 80 Mythic bosses, 80 plus teams at this time of day, downing at least one Mythic boss seems a little high.
Yeah.
And
well, it's like we said, a team's 9 of 11 right now.
And definitely the 9 of 11 seems really high. That seems extremely high.
I'm impressed, though.
That makes me think that they may have undertuned things a little bit. I don't
Maybe.
know. Or that
sounds
limit
like you might just be a little bit jealous. Do you ever think about that?
I don't know about jealous, but maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah, that's
just
what
a
I
little
thought.
bit. Just because I want their gear.
You'll get there, chicken boy. Don't you worry.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. But that does actually seem really high for this time. I mean, to only be how many hours in are we? 8
Yeah.
Or probably more than that. But
something like that.
But I mean, to be this quick into the raid and already have 9 of 11, that seems really, really high.
Well, this will give the WoW team some good insight on, tuning and whether or not they need to.
Sure.
Or not. So I guess we'll see.
Sure.
It'll be interesting to find out.
Right. And as we mentioned, also Wing 1 is now available for LFR. And so Wing 1 is going to be Garathi, Fellhounds of Sargeras, and Antorus High Command. Is that right?
Woo! Yes, that's right.
All right. So, Thyst, I know you know these fights a little bit. You've been able to see them, at least in normals. Maybe we should talk about these first 3 bosses for those guys that want to check it out, either in normals or in LFR. And
let's do it.
And see how it goes. So let's talk about Garathi a little bit. World Breaker. Is he a world breaker?
He's a heartbreaker, that's for sure.
He's a heartbreaker. Oh yeah. He's got the guns. That's for sure.
He does. He has 2 giant gun shoulders, and each gun does a different thing: decimation and annihilation. It's interesting because each of those abilities are different, obviously, and at some point in the fight, you have to choose which one you'd rather not do anymore and kill off that gun. And then once that gun's gone, the other gun goes back up to 100% health. And, you have to deal with that plus the ability that he's doing. So most raids have been getting, I think, Desolation down, because Annihilation is just soaking puddles, but Decimation is like a 5-second debuff that's applied to non-tanks that makes giant circles that you have to run out of. So as you know, we've come out of Tomb of Soak Garrus. We know what we're doing as far
Tomb
as
of Soak Garrus
soaking goes. Yeah, so if you're in LFR, I think in normal, you can pretty much, if you're like full health, soak by yourself. Kind of. Try not to, but you probably could. In LFR, it's probably just going to be like one person to a puddle, but don't take my word for it.
Or it could even be 0. I mean, at LFR levels, they do take a lot of the bite out of some of those individual mechanics. So, it'll be
interesting to see what you're missing.
Right.
Yeah. And so moving on to the Fellhounds.
Oh yeah.
There's two dogs. There's a spicy dog and purple dog.
Spicy and purple.
Yes.
One's a flavor, the other one's a color. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
Well, purple's a fruit, right? That's a Simpsons quote. I'm sorry. I try not to put them in podcasts. But... Anyway, so they share a health pool. The tanks have to keep them away from each other or they'll explode. Basically, just assume that everything in this raid will explode if you're not careful. I think that's probably like a good, just rule of thumb. It's like if you're not sure what this does, it's probably going to explode.
Right.
So just deal with that. Just try to deal with that. And basically, like if you're keeping the dogs apart, melee will go one way, range will go the other way, and each dog has a bunch of abilities that you just have to like move out of or stand away from, and things like that.
Or stand in because.
Or stand in.
So the way that I kind of liken it is that you have a red dog, you have a purple dog. Red dog is that's going to explode. The spicy dog. Okay, fine.
Thank you.
all that stuff will explode, and you don't want anyone near you. For the purple, all the purple stuff on the ground, you actually want more people with you. So that's the soaking mechanic, and then the other one is the go away now mechanic.
Yeah. So watch out for
Just
the
in
dogs.
general.
And that's the first fight that introduces this really cool like lines on the ground sort of thing. Like instead of just like circular puddles of stuff that you shouldn't stand in,
Sure.
or what have you. Like there's this new mechanic that you see in a lot of bosses in this raid where they just either you get a line that goes straight across the encounter map on you, or the boss puts one down, wherever. And it's really cool. Like I don't know why like seeing a patch of bad that's a line instead of a circle is interesting, but it really is. So
well, and this is something.
enjoy
So
that.
this is a mechanic that they've actually developed over the last couple of expansions, right? Because I think they've had fights where the boss will have an arrow pointing at the direction where the
That's true.
blast is going to go, or whatever, or
Yeah.
where the cone is going to go. This one is just like a straight line, but it's like huge.
Yeah. And
It's-
sometimes there's multiple ones, and
Yeah.
you can find yourself like in a triangle because everyone's standing different ways and stuff. But
Mhm.
we found basically like if it's a fight where you get a line on you, trust that your other raiders will move out of that instead of you running all over the place trying not to line up anybody.
Right.
So if you're struggling with that mechanic, that's probably the best method.
Yep.
If you
Well,
trust your raiders.
What was the last boss in Warlords? How can't I think of his name?
Garage.
No, that was
No.
Miss.
Oh no, that was
A
Miss.
big,
Oh.
angry Draenei, red Draenei. dude.
Oh, Archie.
Yeah.
Yes, Archmon.
Yes.
Kind of like those arrows to where,
Right.
except in that you wanted to reposition
Yeah,
this. Now
yeah.
you're saying your raid, trust the raid to reposition instead.
Exactly.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last one for Wing 1 anyway is going to be Antorus High Command, and this is basically, I don't know, it's kind of a weird one.
It's a little overwhelming, yes.
It's
There's-
a little far fetched.
Yeah,
Because you fight one boss at a time on the floor, and then the other two are in their little, I don't know, their little containers.
Yeah, they're chilling. There's the admiral, the engineer, and the general. I don't know if they're related or seeing each other or what, but it is a council style
They're
fight. But
seeing
you
each
only
other.
fight them once. I
They're-
don't know.
I
mean,
know.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
HR said it was fine. They
Yeah.
can do what they want.
Subjective, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to need to designate 2 people, probably people who, like, this is an AoE fight, straight up. Like, there's so many ads that you have to deal with, and there are some ads that require interrupts and things like that. So you want to keep the classes that can sort of, like, not necessarily crowd control, but just at least, like, AoE things down as quickly as possible. You want to keep those out. So you grab 2 people to go into these pods, and one person goes in, and there's 2 action buttons, and you use those accordingly. On the first pod, it's like 2 attacks. On the second pod, it's an attack on the boss, and you have to put down shields for the rest of your team to stand in. So that's a little tricky. I don't know how they're going to handle that in LFR.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to play out. And my guess is that it's going to be pretty forgiving, just because that's a lot of coordination to kind of figure out. So
yeah. And tanks have to go around detonating mines. Like it's literally just like ads, and like some ads come at certain people and do like their spinning melees and stuff. Some ads, they need to be interrupted. Then there's mines on the ground that you can't step in, and it's just like, and then there's like shields you have to jump into, and there's people in charge of pods and stuff. Like it can be very like,
there's pod people.
Yes, there's pod people.
Pod
like
people
us.
are everywhere in this one.
You gotta watch
Crazy.
out.
It's crazy.
So I'll be interested to learn like what LFR is going to do to that fight, but just
right.
The being in the pod is not difficult. On normal, you stay in there for about 40 seconds before you switch.
Mhm.
There's 2 buttons. It's very straightforward. So don't be afraid to volunteer in LFR if you need to, just to keep the fight moving. I promise it's easy. You can do it.
But it's not too
I
bad.
believe in you.
Yeah. And every pod has like the same first ability. It's just the second ability that's a little different or whatever.
Yeah, second ability is just shields. Just place one.
Shoot that one more. Whatever the cooldown is, just use it.
Sure. Just use them. Just press 1 and 2 over and over.
That's right. Okay, so we've got those 3. So hopefully, Wing 1 will be no problem for you guys now. I doubt it. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be issues. It's the first week. First week on any wing. My recommendation is patience.
Yeah. And that goes for people rating any difficulty.
Try not to tilt.
Just remember that like it's all about seeing the mechanics and experiencing them and learning them first. Like you can't go into an experience like this and just be good at it. Right. It's not going to happen.
Right. Oh, hey, speaking of which, so last week, if you guys really want some raid guides, I found somebody cool for you guys to check out, and that was Hazel from Hazelnutty Games, and she was on last week for we were talking about Antorus and about kind of how she got going with raid guides and WoW videos and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for new raid guides that maybe you haven't seen before, check out Hazelnutty Games on YouTube, and they're pretty good, informative, fun, positive, super upbeat. It's not all, and she shows you all kinds of ways to die, which is amazing. So
that's good.
So there you go. If you're looking for something new. So now Thyst, one of the things, one of the things that the other thing that I wanted to talk to you, because we both finished the normal raid, I noticed something.
What did you notice?
So I noticed a couple of things, and there actually will be spoilers here. So if you guys don't want to hear it, here, let me just... Okay, that's all I can stand of that siren. But there's going to be a couple of spoilers here.
You're not going to tell them what happens, are you?
No, not exactly. But I'm gonna say what I noticed, not how things went down. Right? Okay. So number 1, after finishing the thing, Argus is gone.
Yes.
It's not there anymore.
No. Not in the sky.
No. There's a bright, shiny star where it was.
It's pink.
Where it was.
That's pretty.
Big, shiny star. The other thing is that something is going on in Silithus, and I don't want to say exactly what it is. It was hinted at at BlizzCon, so I'm sure that it's kind of spoiled for a lot of people.
Yeah, but when you see it,
it's cool.
You're gonna freak out.
You will freak out a little bit.
I screamed. I was on push to talk, thankfully, because everybody was trying to watch the thing that happens after the thing. But that was I almost couldn't take that when it was happening, and then it happened, and I was like, "Are we okay? Is everything fine? Is okay? Are we okay?" We
actually decided to, as a raid group, go out to Silithus because that's where the new thing is.
Yes.
And examine it up close and see what actually happened to Silithus, the surrounding area, and what this new thing is. And boy, things in Silithus have changed a lot.
Yes. It's really cool.
I will just say it this way: there is lots of destruction.
Yes.
And I think that there is a from all of my research, I researched it quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. There is one. There's like a corpse in Silithus, right? And it is of a person. It has a name. It's not just like Random Joe number 4.
Random Joe number 4.
Right. It's not Random Joe number 4. No, it's actually got a name. And I think that person, that character, is going to come back later.
Come back to life?
Well, it's going to come back later. I'm not saying exactly how. I'm not saying what the story is or anything like that. But there's a single corpse that we see at the end of the raid. After the thing in Silithus is done, there's one corpse, and I think that's going to be important later.
Yes.
It's Dreadlord Jaina, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Finally here.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
exactly what
I can
happened.
get down with this.
No, that's not. It's not Dreadlord Jaina. But I think it is going to. I think it is going to be important. So that's good. But if you guys are fighting and you're like at the last boss on normal or on the last boss, no matter what, take your last pictures of Argus because they're going to go bye-bye, or be on a different tune or whatever when you grab your screen pics.
I miss
stuff.
it. I mean, I don't miss it. I do. It's just so pretty.
It was. It's so awesome. You're just gonna have to start an alt.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like being OP when I log in. Okay.
All right. Okay. I got it. The other thing is that 7.3.5 is now on the PTR. So that means with 7.3.5, this is where we're gonna see things like Old War Time Walking. We're gonna see the old world scaling of the zones and more. Right, Thyst?
Lots more.
What do we know?
Let's see. So it's basically just like Wowhead has a lot of information on like how zone scaling is going to affect things like legendaries and the health pool of mobs. Like they're gonna have way more health, so you can't just like go and one shot them. Like if the zone's gonna be scaling, everything's gonna be scaling, including you and the mobs and your artifacts or not artifacts, but heirlooms. And apparently, if you have expert riding, like that includes all zones, so you don't have to go and get like your cold weather flying and stuff like that too. So that's good. I mean, I was worried about that because I thought, if people are going and questing, they're going to want to fly, and then they're going to be upset because if you put like flying plus WoW equals angry people. So I'm kind of glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
There's just sort of nipping that in the bud a little bit.
Yep. And so there's it's basically all that stuff. So 7.3.5, the big push right now, I think, is just making sure that the scaling of the old world feels right. That's what they're working on right now. But those other things are going to be coming, Old War Time Walking, and all that kind of stuff as well, and just trying to really kind of refine what the experience is going to be like. It doesn't seem like there's going to be anything new as far as what the old world will offer you.
No.
It doesn't seem like it. Now, I know that people were kind of holding out hope that maybe they were reworking some of these areas to make sure that, if you were playing, one of the new allied races coming through, it might feel a little different.
Yeah.
But
I was worried about that actually.
But I don't know if it's gonna. I think it's just gonna be the same.
It is. There's going to be like these I don't know, community boards or something for Horde and Alliance, and it'll sort of like guide you to where you might want to go depending on what level you are. So it's cool that they're making this easier and more accessible because, I hear a lot of people wanting to get back into the game and they're just worried about leveling and all that. And, WoW has taken leveling leaps and bounds away from where it used to be. Like I think I'm a little bit adverse to leveling just because I haven't done a lot of it in the past few years, but it is actually super easy, and this is going to make it a little easier to swallow, I think. But that'll be great for people coming back, and I know a lot of people are planning to come back for the next expansion.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, by the way, if you don't have an authenticator for your account, get one now because you'll get a backpack. You'll get 4 extra slots on your backpack when 7.3.5 goes live. So make sure to do that. I know that most everybody has an authenticator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can download the app too. Like it doesn't have to be like the physical one like we used to have.
Yeah,
it's so easy.
There are still a couple of holdouts, I think, though, where they're like, no, screw that authenticator. I don't want to be safe. Mm-mm.
I love it. It makes me feel very secure in my life. I was hacked once.
Oh, really?
It was like the worst experience of my life. It was awful.
What happened?
And, well, I I couldn't get into the game, and being the really super smart teenager that I was, my WoW password was also my Hotmail password. So this dude took my account, and he also took my email. So I had to call Blizzard, and I got this really nice gentleman on the phone with a really fantastic Southern accent, and he fixed it all up for me because like Blizzard customer support is fantastic. And I was like, oh, can I just ask one more question? And he's like, actually, you can only ask one question per call. And I was like, oh, really? I'm sorry. I didn't realize. And he's like, I'm just kidding with you. It's okay.
Nice.
But yeah, so I got my character back. I got my account back. And my main, he had used my main to like just hoard all of this stuff that I guess he was just going to sell. So it was all in my bags in my bank. So I just sold it, and I ended up with a lot more gold than I started with. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Moral of the story.
Hacker.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, get hacked, everybody. Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead and get hacked.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's kind of a pain in the butt, but it'll work out in the end. It's fine.
Mhm.
It's I don't know. Anything else as far as WoW goes? Because I know that there's a lot of stuff going on. And as 7.3.5 goes through PTR, we'll make sure to update everybody on exactly what they're doing. Right now, it's the very first week, so it is all about the leveling experience. And I think it's going to be that way pretty much through December. It's kind of what it feels like. And then we'll start seeing things like Ulduar coming in, and this is all PTR stuff. So anyway, so I'm sure that a lot of people are like, screw it, it's the PTR. Who cares? Who cares? I just want to fight bosses.
Yeah.
So, and you can do that. That's awesome. All right. In that case, I will very briefly, go to Hearthstone.
Well met.
Yes. And I say briefly because I know that the new expansion is coming out on Thursday, which is cool. Kobolds and Catacombs out on December 7th, as predicted. And here's the deal, guys. I'm not even sure that have you guys taken a look at what's coming up with all this stuff? Have you taken a look at the new dungeon system for Hearthstone? It looks really, really cool, actually. It looks like
I feel like that's gonna like make me want to play the game more.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Gizmo, did you take a look at the dungeon system?
I have looked at the dungeon stuff. I haven't really dove into the cards yet, just because at this point I haven't played in a while, so it's hard for me to get caught up on all the cards. But I'm really stoked about the dungeon system because those are automatic pre-made decks,
right? Which
is really cool. So I don't have to worry about having the cards or not. It's just an experience that you can get in and have fun with.
And I know that Ben Brode was with Day 9, Sean Plott, and they were playing through the dungeon system a little bit and kind of did that on a live stream. And it was really, really cool to kind of see how you can make choices and about how you can decide where you're going next and that kind of thing. So it actually looks pretty fun. And, you start out with 10 cards, 10 different card types, I guess, and very small health pools. And then that grows over time and you have to defeat 8 bosses. Otherwise you start over at 1, which is
fair enough.
A little punishing. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, it forces you to get good.
We'll find out. We'll find out exactly what's going on December 7th, and we'll be able to take a look. I know they've been revealing all the cards for the new expansion. I think they're still on pre-sale for the 50 card packs for $50. I think they're still in pre-sale. So check that out. And as a bonus to this week, I wanted to bring in somebody that was particularly awesome with Hearthstone stuff. So I'm actually going to be talking to Jocelyn Moffat later this week. So Joss will be coming by for Azeroth Roundtable predictions.
Yeah. I almost had her too.
Yeah. Nope, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
No, you really did not. But so Jocelyn will be on. I think she's coming in on Friday. We'll be talking on Friday, and we'll be talking all about this stuff. And we'll have a day with with the new expansion, be able to talk to you a little bit more about it in detail about how all this stuff actually works with the cards that are already out there. So that should be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be good. All right. Take a breath. Because here comes Heroes of the Storm.
Turned up to 11.
Mm-hmm. So Gizmo, you have a tendency to notice things that are happening with Heroes of the Storm.
Okay, yeah, occasionally you could say that.
So what's the latest? We know that Hanzo is still on the PTR, right?
Yeah, he's still on the PTR.
And
still feels bad.
Still feels bad, man.
Still feels bad. I don't know. It's a shame because I mean I guess it's not a shame. This is really the first hero that's been released that has just been like not for me. So I don't know if you all have tried them. If anyone listening's tried them out in PTR, you enjoy them, let me know. I'd like to hear of at least one person who enjoys him. That'd be cool. But he does. I mean, he could get there if they work on him. I don't know. So we'll just have to see. But continue to play on the PTR. Now is a really good chance to do so with, again, all of the 2018 gameplay changes that are coming. If they get enough testing, I think they're wanting to release either mid-December or late December for the next season that is going to start. But they also released a blog post here just kind of discussing some of the big changes, with no ammo on fortifications, the minion changes, the objective timers that are being set, just kind of going into or in depth on why they made these changes. So if you had questions about those, it's a nice little read. And Winter Veil is coming up in the Nexus, which is always really fun. There are new skins. If I can remember right now, I believe there's a Malfurion skin, a Vala skin, a Malthael skin, which is amazing. Malthael skins is incredible. I'm getting that for sure.
What is it?
He is holding his what? They're not swords. They're like not scythes. They're little corn grazing things. I don't know, but they're candy canes, and they're amazing.
Really?
And very festive. But I think there's 4 skins that are coming to the game that are new for Christmas, and they're always really good. Plus, they're coming out with new tints for previous Winter Veil skins, which is always good. I need to 100% for sure get Ginger Dread Nazebo this time because I missed out on the first year. I forgot last year, and it's so good. It's a little gingerbread man.
Gingerbread Nazebo.
Yeah, it's Ginger Dread Nazebo.
Ginger Dread.
Ginger Dread.
I got you.
Yeah, and his spiders are like these little candy spiders with pretzel legs.
Oh my god.
It's just adorable. It's really good.
Wow.
But yeah, so be
cool.
checking those out. But these are likely going to come out, Hanzo and Winter Veil, starting probably December 12th. The PTR changes not quite yet, staying in there. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Pretzel legs.
All right.
God.
Pretzel legs.
So,
Pretzel legs.
Gizmo, you'd say that you're not a Hanzo main?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm not a Hanzo main.
Well, neither am I.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. Why are you yelling at me?
Just say it, Giz.
Gosh.
Right. Right.
I just need you to know that.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's also talk about Destiny 2. I don't have a Destiny 2 sounder, so I'm just going to do this. Epic. All right.
Do it for the puppies.
I don't have that. Sorry. So let's talk a little bit about Destiny 2. Now, Gizmo, you play a lot of Destiny 2. Or you have.
I have.
Yes. Until BlizzCon, and then that ruined you, right?
It did.
How far did you get in Destiny 2, by the way?
On console,
Yeah.
I had completed the raid several times, and then I switched over to the PC, and I got through. I got pretty far geared up. I'm not sure I'm quite geared for the raid Leviathan on PC, but yeah. Okay. Then BlizzCon happened, got sucked back into WoW and all the Blizzard things. So, but right. You know what? I may get sucked back into Destiny here shortly.
Yes,
I doubt it.
And that's because there's a new expansion coming, right?
There is.
What's going on?
The Curse of Osiris is here.
Yep.
So this is the first expansion for Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
I have not gone in yet, but I've kind of been reading up on it. Seems like there's a decent amount. I'm seeing mixed reviews, but I'm still excited for it. I think what they've done with Destiny 2 is kind of, I'm not sure they improved on Destiny 1, but they kind of left off where they ended with Destiny 1 and improved on a few things there. But yeah, it'll be good to get back in. I think they raised the power level from 300 up to 335 or 305 to 335 with the mods on there. Yeah. And of course, there'll be a new raid and stuff. So
yeah,
it'll be good to check out.
That's cool.
Sweet.
You know, I'm always kind of like, I keep on getting these emails from Blizzard, and I understand why. I mean, there's lots of new stuff happening all of the time. But one of the things that happened was that I changed my battle tag, because it used to be Zug, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And now and then I changed it. I was like, well, I have the free change, so why not use it? And so I used it, and I just came up with Crane. I was like, all right, I'm gonna be simple, silly,
that's you?
whatever. Yeah, that's me.
Jeez.
Yeah, it
So-
took me a minute to figure that out.
It's just
too.
This
Crane,
weird guy trying to
just
bother me all the time.
Crane with a K, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And so when I get the emails and stuff like that, it's always like my third grade teacher is yelling at me for some reason. So I just read it as, you fought valiantly in the Red War, Crane. It was it was beautiful when the traveler illuminated the sky, but as the light spread across the solar system, it awoke something in the distance, Crane. I just get, it's never pleasant for me. I'm kind of regretting my choice.
Mm.
I don't know.
Jeez, man, that's like my mind is blown. It's just like I thought this Crane guy was like this creepy weirdo. Is always like, making these lewd jokes at me all the time.
You're not far off. You're not far off at all. You're not far off.
I guess that's all right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, guys, instead of talking about like all of the esports, I just want to condense it down into one esport because it is right around the corner.
Now we're cooking with gas.
That's right. I'm talking about Overwatch League.
So this week is the preseason week for Overwatch League. And Thyst, you seem very excited.
I am excited, Pat.
So
you are right.
So what? There was actually some kind of thing that happened with the Philadelphia Fusion.
Oh yes.
And I was wondering if you might be able to explain it, Thyst.
Well, there's not any definitive information about it yet. It's like they've kind of given us like sort of a they said the Fusion Twitter says, due to player logistic issues, the Fusion will be absent from the Overwatch League preseason matches. Preparations for the regular season remain on track as our players and coaches blah 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 blah.
You're right.
They apologize to fans, and they're looking forward to the preseason competition anyway, and we're just supposed to stay tuned and stuff like that. So what they're saying is they had player logistic issues, so we can only assume that in fact all of their players, I believe, are not living in America.
Right.
So it's probably a visa issue. I feel really bad for them because they were definitely scheduled to play tomorrow, and they were replaced by
I think San Francisco is playing 2 games.
San Francisco Shock, yes.
Wow.
So the thing though is that their player Sumin Sato Kim was banned from the preseason for boosting his characters.
Oops.
So
right.
So it I don't want to say that like they didn't let Fusion do the preseason just because of like one banned player that's not even going to play, but like that can't help,
Right.
Right.
It's
there is an apology letter on the Fusion Twitter by Sato, just kind of explaining what was happening. Like he was boosting characters. It was like a few months before all of this happened, apparently he was boosting characters to try to earn money for his family because his family were in like dire straits financially or something like that. So, whatever. I'm sure he's learned his lesson and stuff. But I feel so bad for Fusion because this literally happened yesterday and the preseason starts tomorrow.
Right.
So, like, can you imagine just getting so close to something you've been working so hard on and like all the Philadelphia fans must be really upset too.
Well, but you would think that the visa issue wouldn't, you would think that they would have been working faster on this for some reason, or I mean, because there's so much money behind all of these different teams, there's $20 million behind every team already.
Yeah.
That they would be on the ball when it comes to all this stuff. And I understand that the United States right now is not easy to get into from some of these countries. And so I totally get that we are kind of in a weird world right now. So
take it from a foreigner living in America. It is not easy. And like
sure.
I've had visas in other places around the world as well. And it's no matter how much money you throw at it or, planning in advance and stuff like that, it's still like a matter of like whichever government you're trying to deal with, and they have no time for anyone. They run on their own time. So you never know. So it's just super unfortunate.
Right.
Really unfortunate.
It really is.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the things, like, because with Overwatch League, these rosters aren't limited to just 6 players. They can have up to, I think it's 12 or 13. And Philadelphia Fusion has 12. But again, so they must be having several issues with visas there, which isn't surprising. I was hoping with Overwatch League, with the people that are backing it, that it was going to be a bigger deal and we maybe might not have these issues. That apparently it's still a thing. So hopefully that'll get ironed out and be good to go for next year. As far as the Sato Kim stuff, it's a really kind of disheartening story. Reading behind why he was doing that. But I think the Overwatch League is still taking the right steps here. They're not suspending. I mean, they are suspending him from preseason and the first 30 matches of regular play. But if they're wanting this thing to be official, they need to be treating it, just like traditional sports, which is kind of what they're trying to copy here. So, you break the rules, you get suspended for some games.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yep.
And just keep rolling with it. But they need to stay on top of that stuff.
And I think
hold their professional players up.
As far as stuff like that goes, once the league gets underway and we start seeing that players are sticking with teams, and we start seeing how these guys are taking care of their players, we should see less and less and less and less and less of this. It should not be a thing as we move to the future, unless it's something really dire. I mean,
because these players are going to have, they have minimum salaries, which is not many esports do. So that's going to be nice and come for them. But it sounds like this happened prior. It was kind of an emergency thing. But, account boosting is not a rare thing.
Right.
So, a lot of people make money off of it, and a lot of people get caught. So
these guys are young guys, and you put all this responsibility and money into their hands and all the pressure and they're playing video games for a living, but it's still a job and it's still something that's got a lot of responsibilities tied to it. And when you force that on younger people, they tend to make mistakes sometimes, and that's just how you learn from it. And hopefully, in his apology note, he said that he's a better person now. He understands what he did was wrong and he's not going to do it again, and he hopes to continue in esports and show people who he really is and stuff like that. So I hope everybody can give him a second chance, but I do think that what Gizmo said is right, that they should have.
Let's hope so. And this is a new arena for a lot of people, just because this is being run a lot differently than we've seen other esports being run. It seems to be at a different level, and they expect a different level from their players. So hopefully now everybody knows that from this unfortunate situation. One of the fortunate situations that's coming out tomorrow with the preseason and everything like that is that we will finally get some ding-dang Overwatch League gear.
Oh, man.
And I am so ready to spend money. I am so ready to throw my money at the screen and just say, take it. Just give me something cool in return. That'd be really great. And we were talking about this at the beginning of the show, but now I'm going to talk about it in a different context. What jersey are you going to get?
Ooh. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to have a lot at some point. Not all at once.
Sure.
But I love that they're finally doing this. I really want to support it. My goal is for the end of season 1, I want to have a jersey from each team.
That's a cool idea.
To, I probably won't wear all of them, but I want them for a keepsake thing for season 1 for Overwatch League. I want to support the league, and I think it's really cool what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, jerseys are always kind of, and they look really cool too. It's not just jerseys either. It's hats, it's jerseys, it's t-shirts, it's probably
apparently pants and
keychains.
hoodies are coming along soon.
Okay. And
like the jerseys that the players wear, that's coming up at some point as well.
Awesome. That sounds great. That sounds great. Thyst, what about you? Are you planning on just being an NYXL type of person or what?
I do look really good in blue, so probably. But I don't know. I just the designs are so great. I don't think I could pull off the Mayhem jersey. It's a little bright for me, but
it is a little bright.
It's a little bright, but that's fine. But they've released one photo so far, and it's like 6 jerseys and 6 hats. The hats are really cool. They're all black with just like the solitary logo.
Then the Overwatch League satin jacket.
Yes.
Oh,
I need that.
That looks pretty cool.
I saw him wearing that at BlizzCon.
That looks
the commissioner.
Really, really cool.
The commish.
Nate Nanzer.
Those guys always get it first.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Right. As well they should.
Yeah, I will say my favorite looking jerseys, just out of the stuff they've shown here, because they're only showing half of them, are probably the London Splitfire and San Francisco Shock in Shanghai.
The Dynasty,
or not the Dynasty. The
Dragons.
No, Shanghai. Is it Shanghai Dragons? Yeah, Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, the Dragons.
I love that this is forcing people who might not be inclined to otherwise to just sort of like critique color schemes and fashion lately. Like, I'm just in the office, all the dudes working in there are just like, oh, that's a really nice color. I like wearing orange. That's good.
Yeah, I like the Shock. That's kind of like, if I were to pick like something that goes with my color scheme, the Shock would probably be it.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a good one.
Orange.
The Dynasty is not bad, and the Dragons aren't bad either. Mayhem is very yellow.
It is.
It's very yellow.
It's very yellow.
I love the one shoulder detail as well. I think that's really slick. I like that.
It's all fantastic. I'm just glad that it's coming out. Another thing that it will be coming out soon, TM. Actually, we kind of know it's coming out in January at some point. Is that we are also going to have team skins in game as well, and I think that other people will be like, I'm not quite there yet. I'm
excited. I'm so excited.
Yes, this.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I'm not ready. Sorry. No, it's cool. I'm so excited, and it's cool the way that they're sort of implementing this with the tokens. There's going to be like a token system that's like a currency specifically for Overwatch League stuff in Overwatch. And I think you can buy it with Battlenet currency.
Yep.
And all of the proceeds from that go directly back into Overwatch League. So not only can you play Overwatch wearing your favorite team jerseys in game, but also like support them monetarily as well. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and so the commish came out with a video this week and was talking about the tokens and such. Basically, what it is you buy the tokens, then you can get the stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So it's not gambling like loot crates. You'll specifically be able to get what you want,
right?
Which is cool. And I'm glad that they're going back to actually like supporting the teams that you're, kind of like they did with Twitch and Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
Which is neat. But I still I kind of wish they were just for the teams, but you know what? If it's going to support the teams, then I guess I'm okay with it.
Right.
You got it.
It's all good.
Nate Nanzer is the commissioner, and he did an AMA today, and he also dropped word that there's going to be an Overwatch League app available on January 9th.
Cool.
So
awesome.
we can look forward to that. Yeah, that's going to make everything so much easier.
What's the
hopefully.
what's the date when the season starts? Is it the 9th or is it beginning of January essentially?
January.
I think at the opening
January
week
9th,
is
yeah.
January. Yeah,
January 9th?
Yeah.
Okay.
January 9th.
All right. Sounds good. That's great. That'll be really cool. I'm looking forward to it. Any predictions as far as what's going to happen for the preseason stuff? Any teams that we should be looking out for?
I mean, John covered it really well in the Overwatch Daily Show.
Oh yeah, and by the way, you should be watching the Overwatch, or you should be listening to the Overwatch Daily Show with John over there.
Yeah, they're like 15 to 19-minute episodes, I think, so far. They're really great.
Right.
And they pointed out a lot of good stuff. So I think in this, the preseason, there will be some matchups where, it's going to most likely go one way, like Shanghai and Seoul. That's playing each other. The Shanghai. Wait, I keep getting these mixed up. Seoul Dynasty.
Shanghai
is going to be one of the top teams. Yeah, they're going to be one of the top teams. They'll probably take this. Although this is preseason, so whenever you have these big of mismatches, they're probably not going to be, going in showing their strats. They're probably going to be playing some of their bench players or not their starters to see how they do and work some different things. So
sure. Well, that makes sense.
I'm just excited. I'm excited because I'm sure there'll be some good games, but I'm more just excited to get it kicked off and kind of see the teams start to get moving.
And people are also talking about the fuel quite a bit.
Yes.
So that seems to be the other one.
I feel like that's the catch-all. It's like if you're not sure, maybe you should just go for fuel, because I feel like they might be the ones to watch, but who knows? Who knows?
I guess
nobody knows at this point.
I guess we'll see during the preseason what happens, and then we'll just kind of have to figure it out from there. But it's tough. It's tough with all this new stuff. It's tough. But I do really like that we're finally seeing some action in the Overwatch League, and we're gonna finally get to see these players go and show their stuff. So yay on that one. Anything else Overwatch League wise or anything? Did we miss anything? I think we hit everything.
I think so.
I think so. I think so too. So with that, I think we're gonna get out of here. So that just happens sometimes. Sometimes we just go. It's okay.
Get gone.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Away until next week, and then we'll be back. Actually, I'll be back in a little bit. I'll be back in a couple of days with talking with Joss about Hearthstone stuff as a little special bonus. And also, don't forget, guys, the hashtag for the giveaway, for the Winter Veil giveaway, is hashtag CTRLazy. Make sure to tweet that out to us at ConvertToRaid, and we will put you into the contest to win loot, holiday loot from us. Pepe, is it a Pirate Pepe? Let me go back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back.
Pirate Pepe.
Is it Pirate Pepe? Pirate Pepe plush. We've got Warcraft Chronicle 2 plus a T-shirt. So I mean, you get a bunch of stuff just by tweeting at us hashtag CTRLazy. I think that sounds pretty easy, actually.
It does.
If you are hashtag CTRLazy, this is the contest for you. All right. So, Gizmo, what's happening on your show tomorrow night? On Lords of the Storm. What do you got coming up?
Tomorrow night, so it's a little bit slow on the news this week, so we're going to get to some backlog listener questions, hopefully get some good information out there, as well as potentially have a little fun discussion on battleground design and maybe designing our own battleground.
Ooh.
So, who knows? So,
Ooh.
that's Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central over at twitch.tv/Lords of the Storm.
Okay.
And you can find myself all over the internets at GizmoZord.
Right on. And Thyst, what's happening? Lag Balls just came out on Monday, I think, or yesterday. So that'd be yesterday. And then you have the LB stream coming up on Friday.
Friday, that's right. Yeah.
Anything cool coming up for that stuff?
No, we basically just sort of decide what to talk about on the fly. Usually works out, but
Right.
that doesn't matter because that's exactly what that needs to be.
Okay.
It's just garbage. But it's fun garbage. If you love garbage,
If you
then
love-
you'll love the LBS.
If you love fun garbage, just hang out with the
Yeah.
LB stream. Yes.
yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah. Our latest show is almost 2 hours. We apologize, but I had to get through every single boss encounter and let you guys know how to beat those bosses. So,
Well, you did it very, very quickly, though. I'm not sure that people will take it as like actual.
I
actual-
hope not. Oh
Right.
no.
It's not actual guidance. It's just your take
Yeah.
on it. All right.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And you can find Thyst on Twitter at Thyst03. You can find me on Twitter at Pat Crane with a K. And that's going to be it. Yeah. So before we get out of here, I just want to tell you how you can join on the conversations we're having at any time. You can email converttoraid@gmail.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. It's so many numbers. 612-787-7243. That's what it is. You can join the Bazoovu Galba Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com, where we have show downloads, Discord infos, videos, audios, and all that kinds of stuff, guild stuff as well. It's all over at converttoraid.com. We're also on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We are, as the kids say, on the internet. It's true. Convert to Raid is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends on the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. And that is going to be it for the show. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Gizmo. Thank you, Thyst. Thank you,
Welcome.
Twitch chat. And I'm very sorry that our audio was not working with us on the stream tonight. Very upsetting. I have some work to do, everybody. And also thank you guys, no matter where you are listening to us. Thank you so much for picking us up. And we will see you next time. For all the gang at Convert Trade. Until next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.